Going on here soon. Okay, welcome to week 6, Eco 501, section 2, part 2. In part 2, we're going to look at some topics that we revisited, we covered over the last first 5 weeks, and then what type of question pattern you could expect in the midterm. So let's get to the screen sharing. Okay, this particular slide we have gone through it before last week. So we have been informed that your midterm will be 100% online based. So we cannot take any physical exam according to the University Grants Commission the directorate. So section 2, which is this section, your midterm is on March 27 at 7 p.m. BT time. Section 1, although this is not for you, they will have it on Tuesday, March 30, BT time at 7. What I'll do at 7 o'clock, I will declare the questions by email. I won't declare it in the Facebook group, but I will declare it by email. So you have to check your email, number one. Number two, uh, you have to submit your email to my BRAC University account, which is ext, you know what it is, ext.asfarul.islam at bracu.ac.bd. Okay. And you have to submit within 9 o'clock or 10 o'clock. If I think that the questions that I have said can be answered in 1 hour, you submit 2 hours later. If I think that the questions that I have said will take 2 hours to do, you submit 3 hours later. So whenever your deadline is 9 or 10 p.m., if you submit after the deadline, for every hour of late submission, 1 mark shall be deducted. Okay. Now, oh yes, we had another thing, right? Do you remember? Does anybody remember what was the other thing was?
Sir, the file name
File
with the
name, yes,
section
yeah,
and name, student ID.
section 1, student ID, name. Okay, yes. So the file name will be like this, so that it's easy for me to uh, compartmentalize. Okay, what we did in week number 1, we just basically didn't do anything. But we introduced the course and I introduced myself, and you guys introduced yourselves. And usually what happens, even when we had offline classes, uh, people still enroll in week 2. In this course, people have been enrolling into week 4. Anyhow, in the second week, we started with concepts, these concepts, trade-offs, incentives, exchange information. And then we asked the question, how do these on their own or in a set influence decisions? What do we understand by, what do we mean by this? How do these on their own or in a set? What do we mean by in a set? What do we mean by
I'm
in a set?
Sir,
sir.
environment.
For example, I might
There
ask,
are multiple situations.
multiple situation means I might ask how trade-offs and information influences the decision making. I might ask how trade-offs and incentives influence the decision making. I could ask how trade-offs and exchange influence the decision making, right? I won't be asking trade-off on its own. I won't be asking incentives on its own. I'll be asking for a combination. Say any two or any three. What are they and how will they influence your decision making? Give an example. So you think an example relevant. Then in week 3, we were obsessed with rationality, price taking behavior, and property rights. Why were we obsessed with rationality? Because we know that sellers will never be rational. We know that buyers will never be rational, but rationality is very much like our perfect competition. It's a benchmark. People are not going to be 100% rational, but what will people do in a rational if they were rational? Then we can think about the deviations. The same thing with property rights is that if property rights are not well defined and well enforced, then people don't have an incentive to create wealth. But in week 3, we were more interested in this concept. What are the alternatives to price mechanisms? There's queuing, there's lotteries, there's coupons. Now, in the midterm, if I ask something from here, then I might ask about, a combination, just like trade-offs, incentives, exchange, and information. I might ask you to develop a business model that involves queuing and lotteries, queuing and coupons, or coupons and lotteries. Okay, you get it? You get what I'm trying to say?
Yes, sir.
So I won't be asking direct like I did before that okay, what is queuing? Why do we do it? Give me an example. I might ask you to do a combination of say queuing and lotteries, queuings and coupons, etc. I might even include something different so that what can I include? I'll be thinking. Then in midterm, sorry, week 4, we discussed marginal analysis and net present value. And but our main emphasis was elasticity of demand and what factors determine elasticity of demand. Okay, when we looked at topic number 4, we looked at 6 or 7 factors, right? Do you remember?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
6
sir.
or 7. In the midterm, if I ask something from here, I might categorize that, okay, these are the 3 factors that will determine elasticity of demand. Now you develop a business model relevant to Bangladesh or relevant to Nepal or Afghanistan. We have friends from Nepal, Afghanistan, and also Gambia. So if using these but 3 factors, whatever those 3 factors are. So you think within 1 hour, you think and then you answer. Week 5, we were obsessed with production and cost, diminishing returns, and short run. The take-home message from week 5 was, in the short run, our capacity is fixed. We cannot produce more than a certain capacity because our technology is also fixed. We cannot change technology overnight. We can replace technology, get something better, but that takes time. So what do? You might see a question over here that says, how can you increase your capacity in the short run? That will involve management skills, etc., etc. You think according to the case study that we'll discuss. So the midterm problem setting will have 2 components. আমি আগে এটা করি. The midterm will have 2 components. The first component will be a conceptual problem. This will be a very small part. An answer will be small, definitely. The next one will be a case study. So let's get back to the share screen. So there will be a basic concept. Okay. Question in conceptual questions back with an example, which you might have to give an example. And then there will be a case study. If we are thinking about, say, elasticity of demand, okay, no problem. And I categorize that these 3 are the factors that will determine the elasticity of demand, then that's your case study. You think about a relevant model and how you can explain it. And there will be a basic concept. I think we also did this as well last week. All the scripts I will be running through plagiarism checker. This is to ensure fairness in the class. Okay. And if there will be a penalty if I find too much similarity with an external source. If the situation demands, I may take a viva of selected candidates. And please try to answer from your own. If I understand that you're answering from your own, I will be very generous with marking. And the marks will be presented as a percentage. I will be taking it in 30 marks. So if somebody does deserves an A, they will get 27 out of 30, but I will be reporting the marks as 90% and A. Why will I do that? Since lots of things are changing over this semester, it could well be that at the end of the semester they tell us that no, the midterm has to be 40% of the total weight. In that case, I'll make it 40%. So 27 will become 36 out of 40. That doesn't matter because the 90% will be honor, and that will also be your letter grade. So this is basically how the midterm is going to be organized. Does anybody have any questions now? Does anybody? It's a very simple. It will just be part A will be a conceptual question with an example, relevant example, whatever it is. Second part will be a case study. And if I think that you will need 1 hour to do it with typing, then I will give you 2 hours time. If I think you need more than 1 hour, then I will give you 3 hours time.
So will you mention the hours in your question or?
Yes, I will. I will mention everything because I haven't done the question yet. But once I've done it, I'll ask myself what's the maximum time a person can use. If I think it's more than 2 hours, you get 3 hour time. If I think it's just 1 hour, you get 2 hours time.
And another thing, sir, did you mention that we'll have to submit or send our email to your email ID? That
Yes. Yeah, I mentioned it over here. Here it is. See, submission by email to so and so. Okay.
Okay, sir.
By 9 p.m. or 10 p.m. same day, depending on when the deadline is. Okay. Oh.
Okay, sir.
Sir, so it's the lectures would be from week 2 to 5.
Week
right?
2 to 5. Correct.
Yes. Can you also say the chapters number?
Do I need to say the chapters number? I don't think that's necessary, but let's see, because where is it? Oh, here it is. Okay, this is week 2. This is chapter 2. If you look at the week 2 slides, the references are over there. Okay.
Yes, sir.
And if you look at the week 3 slides, the references over there with the chapters are, and all the PDFs have been supplied. Okay.
Sir.
Any other questions? Anybody?
Sir, I got disconnected. Is it the midterm? Sorry, I'm asking you to repeat again.
No problem. What was your question?
When is the midterm? And are you going to email the instructions?
Yeah, I'm showing you when the midterm is. Nami, yeah, I'll send it in the Facebook group as well. Hey, here it is. You are section 2. The section 2 midterm will be next Saturday, March 27. Those of section 1, their midterm will be Tuesday, March 30. Okay.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
And I'll mention everything in the Facebook group, so that won't be a problem. I repeatedly korbo so that so somebody nobody misses out.
Okay, thank you so much, sir.
Okay, any other question by anybody regarding today's topics or the midterm?
Sir, I have a query, sir. How many questions will be in part A, sir?
Okay, where is it? AJ, there will be 2 parts. Okay, part A, there will be a basic concept. Say if it's a 30 marks question, then this will be say 5 marks. And part 2 will be the case study, which will be something like 25 marks. Okay. Got it?
Sir, got it. Thank you.
So basically there's 2 questions. Anybody else? Any other question?
Sir, have you graded our assignments?
I've almost done it. Quite a few of them have been submitted late. Okay, so what I'm going to do, section 2 is almost done. I mean, aajke ki shonibar to, I'll definitely make them available by what do you call it, Monday. Firoz Tabish, no, handwriting is not okay. you have to submit by computer. Any other questions?
And sir, the script have to be made PDF, or we can send the Word file?
It's better to send PDF because then the formattings don't break. But if you can't
Yes,
send PDF, no problem. You can send it by what do you call it? By Word.
Okay, sir.
আমি এরপর আরেকটা ভিডিও দিব, হ্যাঁ, and I'll share it in the Facebook groups on you know, the after the Tuesday class. Okay. হ্যাঁ.
Okay,
Somebody
sir.
asked a question. কেউ কি একটা প্রশ্ন জিজ্ঞেস করেছিল? Somebody asked me a question. No questions? No questions yet? No questions?
No, sir. I think you have answered all.
Okay, so if you have any questions after this class, something that rings a bell in your mind, just ask me in the Facebook group. ঠিক আছে? If you ask in the Facebook, I'll answer there.
Okay, sir.
Okay,
Sir,
sir.
can I send a mail
Can you send a mail regarding what?
if I have any question?
Yeah, you can send a mail as well. No problem.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Because if you send a mail, my mobile will just buzz up that I
Okay, sir.
received it.
Thank
So
you,
that won't be a problem. Okay.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Okay then. Okay then. So I'm cutting off now. Okay.
Okay, sir.
I'll make
Okay,
this
sir.
part 1 and part 2 videos available once they can be uploaded. Okay.
Okay, sir.
And
Okay,
if you
sir.
have any questions, just ask me in the Facebook group.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Okay. Bye.
Thank you, sir.
Sir.